Hi guys, my name is Ashley Reynolds and I'll be demonstrating the Somyn app for you today. So when you first go to somynjournal.app/home, you'll land on this landing page and you kind of just sort of scroll through here and you'll kind of see, what Somyn's all about. There's a place for if you're a therapist or a coach, or if you are a people or HR leader. We do have different platforms that serve those audiences. But today we're just going to go from the perspective of the user. So this kind of goes into what it is you'll track. It talks about Soma Guide, which is like an AI reflective companion. So it kind of gives you some examples of things you can talk about with it. This is a little bit of a section of how therapists, coaches, and dietitians can use the platform. And this is just a little bit of a questionnaire, just asking if Somyn's for you. If traditional wellness apps have left you feeling overwhelmed or judged, if you're tired of numbers and just want something that honors your whole self. Some people choose to use it as a standalone with therapy, no need to involve their therapist in the process. And some people are just trying to understand their body's signals without turning wellness into a performance, which is actually one of the reasons I built the app. So I'm actually one of my app's best users and advocates. Somyn for Work is actually a great way to anonymize feedback so that you kind of get the vibe of what your employees are feeling without identifying any one individual's feedback. So this is a great way to kind of assess if it sounds like any of you, if you might identify with any of these ideas. So you just scroll through here and identify ones that you might be identifying with, and it's just sort of an assessment. So it kind of tells you where Somyn might fit into your life. Somyn Journal is basically our blog site. I am a very regular poster on this site and post articles on a daily, sometimes daily, but always weekly basis. A couple of testimonials. And then Somyn does offer a free version, so anybody can use this app for free. If you want to unlock more analytical features, but also just an enhanced user experience, there is an $8 a month plan. I never expect to raise that price at all, so no matter how many more features I add, I plan to keep it at $8, which is a very fair amount for all the features that I put in there so far. And then anyone can start with a 7-day free trial. Another feature that I've built into it is an affiliate program. So people that are avid users and would maybe like to make a few referral commissions from it. Anybody that shares Somyn and has a paid plus subscriber plan can earn 20% in recurring commissions, but it also applies to anybody that refers an enterprise or a therapy account. So they can earn referral commissions if they refer a business that starts their own plan. So for every month that the person they refer is paying, they'll earn a commission. And then next steps are just set up your free account, give it a shot, and see how you like it. So I'm going to scroll back up to the top real quick here. Go into the dashboard. So this is what it all looks like once you go to your dashboard. I'm a big fan of drinking at least 20 ounces of water. So I'm going to go ahead and log that I drank 20 ounces of water today. You can actually go into your settings, and if you want to do this quick log button, you can tell it how many ounces of water you'd like it to record for you for the auto. This check-in here kind of just asks, hey, how are you? Well, right now I'm in a pretty good mood, so I'm going to tell it that I'm happy, and it's recording that for me. I can record a gratitude moment. So I'm going to say, I am thankful for great friends. Locked. All right, food and fluids. This was one of the reasons that I built the app. Here in the food and fluids section, we're not tracking amounts, we're not tracking calories, we're not tracking any sort of numbers. What we're tracking is what we ate. If you want to take a photo of the meal that you ate, you are more than welcome to. But right now I'm gonna share that today I ate salmon and risotto. You can record the time if you want to, not necessarily required. How hungry were you before eating? This is another big one. So this kind of gives you a chance to check in with your body and ask, hey, how hungry am I actually? So ravenous or extremely, this is the way people describe hangry. When they really are about to gnaw their own arm off. But I am good and hungry, so ready to eat. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling optimistic. I can put any range of emotions that I want on how I'm feeling. So all of these feelings here are based on something called the feelings wheel. So pretty wide variety to choose from. But if there's one listed here, or one that's not listed here, I can actually write in my own feeling. But for right now, I'm going to stick with the two. So my intention for this one was to nourish my body. So I'm going to write nourish. Sometimes comfort, or just having a routine of eating something, that being social, these are all valid reasons or intentions behind what we eat. And then another important question that separates this app from others is that it also asks, how hungry were you after you stopped eating? So I do make every attempt to stop eating when I'm slightly full, and between slightly full and satisfied. I try not to get stuffed or very full. So very full I think of as like Thanksgiving meal full. And then if there are any other observations about the meal, how it felt to you, even if you judged yourself for anything that you ate, you can put that here. Even makes a little noise when you make the log. Okay, and so to get back to your menu, just hit this box up here. So now we're going to explore different movements. So I don't like to call this exercise. I deliberately did not choose workout or exercise language because I didn't want to give the impression that this app was about modifying our bodies. I just wanted a way to kind of show any sort of movement for enjoyment, um, movement, just for the sake of exploring what our bodies can do. So let's go ahead and log a movement. So what did I do? I did a little bit of swimming earlier today, um, for about 30 minutes. I'm not going to worry about the time right now, but I would say it was a moderate intensity. And I do find swimming energizing for me, so I'm going to leave it at that. But there are other intentions behind behind movement. And then how did that movement feel for me? Actually, I found it rather enjoyable. Swimming is one of my favorite things to do. How did my motivation compare to the experience? So there are a lot of times where wanting to swim is just very different from doing it to be performative, which is very human, very valid. So I just want to say that I did, it was about what I expected. Nothing exceeded my expectations, and I am feeling better now. One thing I do notice that occasionally, if I lost my breathing rhythm, a few times, but nothing major. Okay, that can save activity. Another pleasant noise. All right, so now let's go to body check-in. But body check-in is a way that we can kind of check in with ourselves, exactly the way it implies. So I'm going to start a body check-in. Well, first of all, we need to assess our readiness to even do a body check-in. So how present do you feel in your body right now? So I feel mostly present. It's a little bit distracting to record a video and talk. So I'm going to be as present as I can possibly be. Can I sense my breath? Yes, I can. Again, I might be feeling a little bit nervous about recording a video, so I might be holding a little bit of tension in my breath. Where do I feel my breath moving? Definitely through my chest and into my belly some. What's my body's energy like today? I can select. I'm pretty steady, not overly energetic, but also not low either. How is my sleep night? Well, most nights my sleep is fair. I do have two cats that do enjoy playing at 3 o'clock in the morning, but otherwise it wasn't so bad. What physical sensations are you noticing? So I can put a pretty good variety here. Sometimes I am feeling tense right now in my lower back, which I can put down below. But I can also note that I'm comfortable. But where in my body am I feeling this? I'm actually feeling it more in my neck, upper back, but also a little bit in my lower back. But there are other areas in the body we can indicate this. If there is not a descriptor in those choices above, I can describe what I'm feeling in my own words. And then, there's those feeling wheels of motion right now. So I can sort of write in my own feeling. I'm just gonna put that I I'm feeling content. What might be influencing this? Having a generally good day. Okay. Now it's asking what my needs in this moment are. You know what? I actually need a little bit of quiet time. So that is something that I'm going to set an intention for myself. But if there is something else that you feel you need, you can also indicate that there. And then any additional thoughts about this reflection you can put in. So I'm going to save this check-in. Again, nice little noise. Okay, reflections. Reflections is another reason that I built this app. Is sort of like just a freehand journal. You can do some free writing if there's something that you want to write down. There's even the opportunity to record your voice if you want to. And as always, we are kind of looking at where your feelings are. So it does ask, hey, what emotions came up when you were reflecting on this? Or I can write in my own feeling. So I'm not going to do one right now. There's also the opportunity for guided prompts. If there is a particular topic that you want to discuss, there is the way to select one so you can pick it. For one reason or another, it's not pulling up for me right now, so I'll make that adjustment very quickly. All right, my intentions. So a lot of times, I'm not gonna call it a goal because I don't want to give the any sort of opportunity to feel failure if I don't do it. So I am gonna set an intention though. So one thing I would like to do is be able to take a 10-minute walk outside. This matters to me because I enjoy getting getting a little bit of sun and being in nature. So I have a long driveway. Making a nice little walk to the mailbox and back is a great way for me to do this every day. So I can choose the reason I want to do this. Self-care, mindfulness, just to get some movement in. So today I'm just going to log this as, yeah, this is great for movement. And I'd like to be able to do this every day. I can set it for weekly or just when I can. But for this gentle intention, I'm going to set this for daily. And when I do this, I just hit the log button. And it says, you've done this today. All right, my favorites. I'm going to go ahead and shut off that alarm. All right, so my favorites is a way for you to track any favorite links or resources that you have come across, that you're not having to save them in your browser all the time. If you just want to if you come across a favorite recipe or a particular exercise that you've come across that you want to try, you can log that here as a way to say, these are things that I want to integrate into my life. And even if it's just a miscellaneous thing, you came across an article about your favorite game that you want to refer back to, this is a place you can save that. All right, Summer Guide AI. So this is a great little companion that I built into Somyn. And these are some suggested questions that you can ask. But first of all, I want to start out asking, what is the best way to work with you? All right. So it has given me um, a steady answer about how great of a question it is. Um, One thing I want to note here is that Plus users get unlimited Summa AI chats. Free users get five chats per day. Um, but yeah, so one of the things you can do is help log your experiences, even if it's just sort of a casual thing. You can come to Soma Guide with any real questions or feelings. You can just, ask it, hey, why am I always craving sweets at night? You can kind of look at your data and then reflect things back to you, not to judge or just to help you notice. So you don't need to perform for Soma Guide AI. You can be genuine for them. There is no judgment here. So one thing to keep in mind, you should be as honest as you can. So this is genuinely trying to help you. There is no need to worry about any judgment from Summer Guide. And then it'll always bring the curiosity. You just bring the wisdom about yourself. You just bring any sort of feedback that you want to give it, and it will try and keep tracking those trends for you and reflect them back to you. Okay, but here's what Summer Guide AI is not here for. They are not here to tell you what to eat or how much to exercise. It's not here to track calories, macros, or weight goals. It's not here to be a cheerleader for diet culture. And it's not here to replace any sort of professional support if you need it. So it has given you some prompts on things that you can ask it, but you can sort of use it however you see fit to get the best out of your experience. Another relatively new feature that I've added so far is a relational mirror. So a lot of times you'll have an interaction with someone and have a feeling about it, like a physical sensation in your body. And that feeling it lasts way longer than the conversation. So this kind of gives you a place to explore that conversation. And also, if there's a particular person that this feeling happens when you're around, you can track that, and then over time you can kind of assess, hey, why do I always feel this way around this person? Tarot analysis. This is another one of my favorite features. Tarot in general really is not about telling your future. It's about showing you yourself. It uses pictures to kind of bring to your conscious mind what your subconscious might not be ready to put words to yet. So if there is something that you want to ask about, something you're seeking clarity on, you can write your question here. Try to make it open-ended. Tarot is not that great for yes or no questions. But if you leave it more open-ended, you can explore a bit further. If you want to share any sort of context around your question, you can add that here. Including reversals, a lot of people like to do readings where the card meaning is different when the card appears upside down, so you can choose that to include that or not. I like to read reversals, so I keep it there. There is a way that you can pick your cards blindly, so it'll show you sort of a panel of face down cards, and you can just pick whichever one you're feeling, and it will include that in your spread. Or let's say you had a reading, or you did a reading earlier for yourself, or if someone else gave you a reading and you're just looking for a little extra perspective on it, you can tell it, hey, I already have my own cards, and you can even decide which spread you want to use. So there's a pretty good variety of spreads here. Some people do like a single draw card, just reflecting on one card per day. There's a lot of variety of spreads here to choose from. But you can also build your own spread, so you can kind of tell it which position, what card is in which position and what does each position stand for. And then once you've put all this in, it does give you a reading, a very personalized reading. I will say it's very personalized. All right, insights. For right now, I've only done one check-in, but this kind of just shows you, hey, how's your body been moving? The different ways you've moved, your hydration, tarot patterns. These are some of the different cards you've drawn. So you might have several cards that keep showing up. Just a way to reflect on that. So I don't have quite enough entries to give Somyn Guide the opportunity to give me much more insight, but these are some of the things that it does track. There is a resource library. So what my intention here for the resource library is for like mental health providers or any therapists, dietitians, coaches to be able to upload those here for their clients. I've actually included my YouTube channel. I've actually made some updates to that, so I will update that later. But anybody using the app can have access to this resource. And then if you happen to be looking for a provider, any of the providers that use Somyn as a platform to work with their clients on have the opportunity here to be able to make those kinds of referrals. Providers can upload their own profiles to kind of include what their specialty is, introduce themselves, and their contact information. All right, the affiliate program. So this is the affiliate dashboard. Any Plus user and above, so anybody that has any sort of paid plan, they can actually earn 20% referral commissions. So as long as the person they referred stays subscribed, every month they get 20% in referral commissions. So a much higher value referral would be a Somyn for Work referral. So these are enterprise employers. Most of the time, these will be your HR leaders, your people ops team, and other organization leaders that are interested in doing a little vibe check of how their company is doing, whether or not their teams feel overwhelmed. And then I'll show you an example here shortly. But that framework is built in and ready. Somyn blog, I've done quite a few writings. There are more than 40 articles to date. It kind of encourages a little bit of background as to why someone would use Somyn. But I've got quite a few tags here, so anybody can select a tag on articles that I've written about so far. Okay, Somyn for Work. So Somyn for Work is really more about helping employees understand themselves as well. So a lot of times before employees feel burnt out emotionally, they'll feel it in their bodies first. So this is an opportunity for employees to kind of log a little bit of a check-in. And then there's also the opportunity for employees to log any sort of reflections. So anything, and literally anything about their employers that they want to write a feeling about and vent about, they can write that here. The caveat is that this data is anonymized for employers. So employers will never receive any sort of raw data. They'll never receive any sort of word-for-word reflection, but they might get in sort of an anonymized, aggregated data about what their employees, what feedback their employees are giving about them. And then once everyone sets up their account, there is an app walkthrough to kind of describe what each section is for. There is a contact page here if anybody wants to ask any general questions, if there are any provider or employer partnership inquiries. And this is also the page you would go to leave any feedback or suggestions. So that it does send an email directly to me. And I can implement feedback and suggestions so long as it aligns with Somyn's purpose. So I don't do everything that's that people request, but so long as it's aligned with the purpose of Somyn, then I can generally include it. All right, so that is our demo of Somyn. I hope you've enjoyed it so far. So I will be making more updates to it as we go. I just want to mark today's date is Sunday, July 12th of 2026. And feel free to send me any questions your way. You can either use the contact page there, or you can email me at Ashley, ASHLEY, at SomynJournalApp.com. Thanks for watching.